my first time changing a diaper was with Emery, my baby. You know, and that's kind of crazy. So I never changed a diaper, so I was fucking up bad. Morgan, like, you got to do it like this. Put it over there. That's why she be shitting out the sides. Like this. And blowing out, because you ain't putting the diaper on right.
Blowout.
Blowout.
Saw the definition of blowout on Instagram this week.
Yeah, the definition of blowout, for those who don't know, is when the baby shits out of the diaper. It can go up, it can go down, it can go anywhere. It just won't be in the diaper. That's a blowout. It's
outside the diaper.
It's outside.
Got it.
Yep. That's what happened.
You're the one who's a big deal. That's why you're here.
I guess, yeah.
Tell the people who you are.
I'm Adrian Octavius Walker.
Mm-hmm.
From St. Louis, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I live here in Oakland now.
Yes. We're very blessed to have you.
I have a black-ass wife. Her name is Morgan Walker. I have a black-ass daughter. Her name is Emery Onyx Walker. She's 4 months. She's the best kid in the world. That's it.
Family man.
And I'm a photographer, artist, guy.
I think it's funny how probably before you had the baby, you would have said I have a wife, but you would have said like I'm a photographer. You probably would have brought up the photographer piece first, and now it's like I'm a dad.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. I mean, I'm fathering somebody. Can you say fathering? Yeah. Because I was like worried about like not doing a lot this year. And I was like...
In your work, you mean?
Yeah. And I was like, damn, but I got a whole kid, you know what I'm saying? So I can't really be worried about like keeping up with, work or something like that. I mean, I'm keeping up with it as much as I can, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of my friends travel and I just like, oh yeah, I can go. No, you can't. You know what I'm saying? No, you can't. You can't just up and leave anymore, which is cool for me. So it's just like, now it's just, I have to like check myself at all times, like just remember, I can't forget obviously, but at the same time, it's just like, I just can't up and go. And so when I see my friends traveling or doing something cool, I guess, I just may not be there, which is fine. I have the best excuse in the world not to do anything.
I mean, you're really doing everything.
Yeah, I feel like that, but at the same time, it's like a lot of stuff that's like going on. It's a lot of stuff that's going on in Oakland, like all the time, to the point that I don't even know. Like I be driving down the street, I'm like, damn, that's a line. Oh, somebody is at the complex, or it's a show going on. I didn't know King Crew was going to be here. I would have went, and just like damn, it's a lot going on. But at the same time, I got so used to missing things that it's just okay now.
Sure. I think sometimes we deal with that FOMO, right? That like fear of missing out. Also, when your friends, you're married, now you have a kid, and we're still in this age range, lower 30s kind of, where all your friends aren't married, all your friends don't have kids. Yeah. And so it's like, is it kid friendly? And
that's the thing, even if it's like not, I mean, I just know like I don't really need to be there. And then like Morgan doesn't go out like that anyway. She doesn't go out like me. So I would be the person that's out anyways, and she is okay with her being home with the baby or something like that, and it worked out. It's really cool. I still like, it's just like scheduling out everything, like being really, really prompt and just making sure I have like stuff just dated on the calendar and stuff like that, like really using the calendar like super hard. Even with this, it was just like in there like an hour before and just like checking in and just knowing like, all right, I have this. And even if it popped up, it was okay, So it was just like, I have a friend in town, just trying to balance stuff out. And Morgan taught me that, it's just that some things you can say no to, like prioritize what's most important. I'm still working on it. It's just still a work in progress, but I'm getting wet. I feel like I'm getting better. Yeah.
I feel like it's always interesting what the opposite partner teaches you about so you as a father, I wonder what Morgan has taught you about being a father, even though she's not one. And then I wonder what you maybe have taught Morgan about motherhood, even though you're not Emery's mother.
Ah, man. I mean, I think just having a Black woman in your life is just a blessing, period. I mean, she's taught me a lot of stuff, like a lot. Like I mean, without Morgan, I probably wouldn't even be in this room right now. You know, I feel like, you know, talking and being able to be speaking on behalf of me and who I am. You know, I've done a lot, you know, but at the same time, she makes me feel more comfortable with doing things. And also, like, just telling me about myself, you know, and it's hard to hear things about yourself at times, you know, especially when it's like, it's not necessarily negative, but it's stuff that you need to work on. And then it's like, damn, I'm really fucking up. But it's like somebody there to check you. You know what I'm saying?
And no more can be checking you.
Oh, yeah. And it's good.
Yeah.
It's like, it's necessary. I will want her to. I'm glad, you know?
Sure.
And it's like recently listening to Snoop Dogg on Breakfast Club. And he was like talking about like the Kanye West situation. And then he basically said like how Kanye doesn't have strong women in his life. I can't speak on behalf of Kanye West and his life and stuff like that, but at the same time, I get what Snoop Dogg is saying. We don't know what Kim is saying to Kanye West, but I definitely get what he's saying. And I feel like having like that black woman in your life, I mean, y'all got black mamas. They ain't gonna let y'all fuck up.
The original accountability partner is the black woman. For the
Yeah.
whole
Oh,
world.
God.
For the whole world.
Flat out.
Been keeping y'all accountable.
You know, so it's just like I get a lot from my mom. Even though my mom passed away when I was at an early age, I still feel like I got a lot from her. You know, so that's why I do what I do now. That's what prompt Black women up for breathing. I know we'll talk about that, but that's what partially prompt that, and yeah, it's just good to have that. You know. And I'm not just beefing up Morgan just because I'm trying to get men to talk about their wives and all that type of stuff. It's if you do whatever you want, you know. But I know that it's like really, really true, you know. Everybody knows it's true. So
Sure. I'm interested in hearing more about the role of Black women in your life because I think I just heard for the first time that you lost your mother at a young age, right? And so you know, but you've managed to get married, and so you weren't, you know, even without the teachings of your mother, you still you came to.
It's weird because I still can't believe that this is my life, even though I'm living it every day. You know, waking up now, not just with one person in my bed, it's a baby in the bed now. You know, that won't sleep in her bed yet because she's a baby kicking her ass in the bed. But it's just like crazy to be living this life, you know, because where I come from, you know, St. Louis, and everybody comes from a different place and say like, you probably would have never made it out of this place or something like that. Everybody has their story, but it's like when you actually live that life and you saw like what goes on, you know, in that life, you know, as far as like growing up in the city of St. Louis and just seeing like what directions people are taking. And some aren't here with us anymore, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of dead friends, like a lot. It's crazy. I know a lot. It's insane to say that, but it's just like, I can't talk about this to people at work because they probably wouldn't understand, or they probably like feel really, really sorry for me or something like that. And just like, it's not weird to me. It's more so like, it's not, I don't want to say it's regular. It's just, I'm really, really numb to a lot of that stuff. And so it's just like crazy. But at the same time, growing up, back to what you were saying, like my mom passed away when I was like 10 from an aneurysm. And then so my dad was around, my brother was around. I'm the oldest. I mean, I'm the youngest of 6. All of my siblings are way older than me, so they can be my parents. So my oldest brother, I think he's 53 or something like that. Yeah, he's 53. And then like the youngest next to me after me, Aries is I think 44. I think.
Oh, wow.
And his first time ever traveling outside of St. Louis was in April.
Wow.
To come out here.
Cool.
He came out here. He came out here to see the baby, see how we live, see another place.
Sure.
And so I'm the first person to travel. I wasn't the first to get married. He was the first to get married, but go to school, graduate, leave the country, Like I have a lot of firsts on my siblings. And so it's not pressure because it's something I feel like I had to do and I knew I was going to do it. But now it's just like they look up to me. Like my big brother hit me up saying, you know, just checking in or just like hitting me with like these messages and saying like beautiful things and stuff like that and just like bigging me up and things of that nature, you know. And, you know, even my sister who raised me, who like, you know, I feel like you made me into a man. And my other sister, like they taught me so many different things, you know. And I had nieces and nephews at a young age, so I didn't know how to really interact with babies because I was so close in age with them. My first time changing a diaper was with Emery, my baby, you know, and that's kind of crazy because I never changed a diaper, so I was fucking up bad. Morgan, like, you got to do it like this, put it over there. That's why she be shitting out the sides. Like this. And blowing out because you ain't putting the diaper on right.
Blowout.
Saw
the definition of blowout on Instagram this week.
Yeah, the definition of blowout, for those who don't know, is when the baby shits out of the diaper. It can go up, it can go down, it can go anywhere. It just won't be in the diaper. That's a blowout. It's
outside the diaper.
It's outside.
Got it.
Yep. That's what happened.
So I think, you know, just hearing your story, it sounds like that's why you're in awe that this is your life.
Yeah, it's like I said, man, it's crazy. Like my dad doesn't understand what I do. And my biggest brother, I just had a conversation with my big brother last night about what I do.
What'd you tell him that you do?
About work. I told him where I work and what I do, and that was his first time. Wow. And like hearing that, because he didn't know. He just said, "How's your job? What do you do anyways?" So it's like we never had these conversations about what we do. Like that was my first time talking to my brother since I saw him in March. And I don't know why it's like that, you know. We still trying to figure out like the whole like separation of like family and why we don't stay in touch. But it's like I stay in touch with my little cousin, my two little cousins, and my niece, and like my young closest brother in age, the 43-year-old Aries. I stay really close with them, but everybody else is like kind of distant. But we talk. Everybody's cool. But it's just like it's a huge gap, separation, you know.
Were they able to see the exhibit that you did down in St. Louis?
They did come. Yep,
and
my family came.
What did they think of that?
They love it. It's crazy to see. Like that was the first time all of my family came to my exhibition. I feel like.
And where was it again?
The World Chess Hall of Fame
in St. Louis.
In St. Louis, yep. World Chess Hall of Fame, St. Louis. Yep. Yeah, I was in it. Well, Fredia was in it.
I got to see it.
You was assistant.
I assisted her.
You went to go
and
see it.
And I went to see it.
Took a picture. And
yeah.
Did cool stuff in St. Louis.
I think for me, that was one of the first moments that I began to realize that we're living the life that we want to live right now, right? Like to even think that one of my good friends is pictured in a gallery, to think that I know the person who took it. I'm just like, yo, like, I'm around the people I want to be around right now.
Yeah, that was that was seriously one of the best shoots I've ever had. And it was crazy too. The way it came out was just insane, you know. I mean, Fredia bought, I mean, she didn't buy. I had to help her with the framing and sizing of the photo, and now she has it in a crib, you know. It's
For
crazy.
Those who want to know, I have a fully blown up picture of myself in my house that Adrian took because it's gorgeous.
That photo is bomb.
It's beautiful. So my question is, right, and I think that we've talked a little bit about this before. We're talking about this now. Mm-hmm. We are living the life that we want to live with the people that we enjoy to be around.
Right.
How do we incorporate our family members, friends, old friends, people who we have cared about before, but maybe aren't a part of this lifestyle, right? Because exposure is important, right? Mm-hmm. So you being the first person to travel in your family, I'm also the first person. Like my dad just went out of the country and he is a grown-ass man.
My dad hasn't been out of the country since Vietnam.
Right? And so how do I get my family, maybe they're not a part of these conversations, but at what point in time do I introduce them to my friends, and how do I get them to be involved in the arts and the culture and the traveling that I am into without coming in and feeling like, I'm the bougie one,
right?
Or I'm the super privileged one.
Yeah, I go through the same thing. When I go back home, it's just like I eat different. I don't talk different. I just eat different things. I'm more experienced with like cultures and stuff like that. I dress different. I carry myself different. I don't get looked at in different ways, but people know. Like a good friend of mine was out here not too long ago for Ocala. So I guess it's a few weeks ago. And he's like, and we were just talking. I said, I feel like Oakland changed me, or I've changed since I left St. Louis in a good way. He said, I can tell, and it's beautiful. And, he's been all over the world, but at the same time, to hear somebody acknowledge that is crazy. But then going back and saying, like, how can we get our family involved in this? I think it's just like we really, really have to start having conversations with our family. Even though it's so hard because my dad is really, really, he's older. He's like I think my dad is like 71, and it's just like, this may sound crazy, but I don't really know how to talk to him about things that I do. The conversation is just like kind of just drift off. It'll start at a place and then it'll go somewhere else. Like he'll just say something that I just don't even agree with or whatever. Like it relates back to money or something like that, or how you doing this, how you affording this. And it's like, I don't really want to talk about that. Just know I'm good. I'm okay. I understand, like I know things are expensive and I know I can always come back home, but man, I don't want to come back home. I'm not really ready to come back home yet. And I understand that one day that we may have to go back home to take care of our elders, because that's like the cycle. And that's what made me think like, damn, I'm going to have to be taken care of by Emory one day. That sort of killed me a little bit. Not killed me. It just brought me to a point like, damn, it just made me like, that's why it's like, damn, it's okay to slow down and like really take all this in. And so like, it's just like I said, it's still really, really weird to me that I'm living this life. But like being able to talk to my big brother and having these conversations with him, because my big brother, he deals with like serious like depression. Mental health is like a crazy thing. And I know it's like a really, really big topic. And he deals with it. And for him to buy a ticket with his wife, come out here, he didn't even sleep on the plane because he couldn't. He was so excited but nervous at the same time. And then like to be that really like he didn't even know. Like I straight cried when he left or whatever, because it was just like, damn, dude, you really came out here. Like I never thought you would come out here. I'm about to cry right now. I was like, damn, you really came out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm serious about to cry. Sorry.
It's okay.
And I was like, because like people from where like growing up, it's just like seeing like somebody like that you grew up with. I used to watch wrestling with him, and I never imagined like me leaving St. Louis to like living in California, and then like having friends and family come and visit me, to visit my baby and all that. Like that shit is weird. It still blows me away. If snot come out my nose, let me know. But like Morgan's gonna look at this. She's like, you a crying ass nigga. She gonna look. I be crying, boy.
No, but so LA's from St. Louis. My partner's from St. Louis.
We had an amazing conversation.
Yeah, so she's in St. Louis as we speak, actually. And she was telling me this morning that one of her friends said, you went to California, you got some culture. You went to California and you got, you talk different and, all of these things. It's really interesting when our lifestyles change. And I think to your point, right, it's hard to maintain those old relationships because they be like, who is this new nigga?
But the thing is, like, I don't even know LA like that. Or I didn't know her. I got to know her. LA is from St. Louis. I can tell she's from St. Louis. And this can segue into a conversation I had with Frida a few weeks ago, and like how I can only speak on this because I'm from here or whatever. It's like we are really different individuals. It's like we around a lot of folk who are afraid to do what we do. Leave. A good friend of mine, Udoka, he travels hellas, and then other good friends of mine who make a lot of bread, who rather stay in St. Louis and never leave. But they are different in the way they dress different. They like read blogs and stuff like that. Or back to my family who just never left, you know? And then to go back to LA to have these conversations with her, I'm trying to figure out like who we know. We didn't know the same people at all. You know, we didn't know the same individuals at all, but we knew the same places. Like we like going on Manchester and stuff like that and hanging at like these different clubs or whatever. On Manchester, it's like a like our gay community, LGBTQ. I'm sorry, I gotta say it slow. Community, and it's a beautiful place, you know. So to be around that at an early age and then like didn't think none of it versus like those friends who like I never go over there. I'll never do this. It's just stuck in this like this box. It's just that's weird. And then to say like a person has changed when they come back because they've experienced something new, you know, I think it's bullshit, you know, because I feel like you can experience the same thing. Like the only thing you got to do is leave the north side.
Sure.
You know, but I don't like say these things like in a negative way at all. I promise I don't, because I just I always wanted the best for anybody that was around me in my circle. And that's why like I did the things that I did in St. Louis. You know, we threw these dope events. We brought people to St. Louis, Currency and Dom Kennedy, Stolly, and all this type of stuff at an early age when we was in college. Like we used to bring like these people in. Like we had this group of friends of mine in St. Louis in college. I met. We were the Made Monarchs, and we threw like these amazing parties and stuff like that. And we did it at an early age. So like to come to a place like Oakland and see folks like Toasted Life do this, or homies like Max. Like we knew of Wines and Bow Ties when Made Monarchs was around back in 2000. Well, we ended things in 2012, I want to say, or 2011, and I knew of Wines and Bow Ties, and like so to come out here and be like, damn, you're Wines and Bow Ties. I first met Max at my job that I'm currently at right now, when he was with the Hack the Hood kids. Cause that's where he works. And I was like, dude, we used to follow your stuff like, you know, in St. Louis. I'm like, this is tight. So I'm here with you. I see who you are. And it's just like, that's amazing. So it's just like, I didn't change. I'm honestly around the people that I was around in St. Louis, just in another place. That's how I look at it.
Sure. Yeah.
So this is crazy. I know we got other stuff to talk to. Traveling, and I'm gonna look at you. I went to Afropunk.
Yeah,
I took a picture of a person that I fucking met when I came out here. I took a picture of Jena at Afropunk. I took a picture of her and didn't know who the fuck she was. And then I don't even know how.
What year was
found
this?
This
was 2014 or 15. Yeah.
Took a picture of Jen in 2014.
Yeah.
We didn't know each other.
No.
Because we was at Afropunk, so you seen amazing people
taking pictures.
and taking pictures. I took a picture of this woman,
Yeah,
and
the
now I'm
picture
on a
of me.
podcast. What the fuck? This is insane. Is that the universe?
And I know we're gonna get into the book, but I want to ask this. So the idea is, are you those people who you say stay in a box?
Yeah.
Right? And us, like, now we're living these lives. I feel like for a lot of times, I personally felt like I was crazy.
Crazy because
I knew that I was supposed to be doing something, but I didn't know what mediums or ways to go about doing them. And like the things that were introduced to me didn't reflect those things.
Right.
And so what I wonder is, for you, the question is the unboxing, right? Getting out of your own box. Who are the people, or what are the things that you do to get out of your own way?
For me personally, I can only speak of myself.
Right.
It started off as a kid. You know, I was always just curious. It's like super spontaneous. I was nosy. I was I didn't depend on nobody. You know, I was just always just out. I don't know where the hell this came from, you know. so that's what happened with me. I was just always ready to learn or see something new, or just I don't know, be a part of something else. You know, I always wanted to, and I always ended up putting myself in a situation that was going to better me. You know, like after school programs. I used to love school. I didn't want to go home. You know, so I joined after school programs. I remember I was a part of this program called Friends with a Better Plan. And this program took me out of St. Louis first time. My first time I traveled, I went to Florida. First time on a plane. I was like 18 or something like that. I was so excited, and I was with other kids who was first time experience too. And you know, after that, I was like, I need more of this. You know, I need more of this. I don't want to just see Florida. I want to see the world. I want to see different things. So I just had to keep putting myself in these places, you know. And so I would say, you know, if anybody's ever asking for advice or something like that, just surround yourself around people that's going to put you in like different places or can help you out, even if you don't know it. You know, being scared that comes with it. You know, being nervous, it comes with it. Not knowing things comes with it. But don't let those things stray you away from, you know, doing what you want to do. You know, you may not know how to, you know, but there's so many ways, especially now in 2018. I mean, your phone is a book. Everything is right in front of you now. It's a given, you know. So when I did it, you know, I just kind of, I guess, did it the old school way. I just put myself in those places because I wanted to do it. And that's another thing. It's like, it's a thing if you want to do it. A lot of people, they dream about doing these type of things, but at the same time, they just still can't pick themselves up to do it. And you have to give it time. Just like I had to give my brother time to leave when he felt like he was ready to leave, you know? And it finally happened. It happened 40 plus years later, you know? And so with you, Fredia, it's just one of those things where it's like you knew you wanted to do something, but you had to like figure it out, you know, and you figured it out and you still figuring it out. And that's another thing. I feel like a lot of us act as if we figured everything out.
Yeah.
I don't know shit.
Not a damn thing.
Nothing.
Don't know nothing.
Still learning.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot. You know, the fact that Jena just told me she's going from fucking Oakland to London to Spain and all, like, just back like that, it's just like amazing to me, you know? And just like to hear that I'm around Black people saying these things. That's crazy to me. You know, that's so crazy. It doesn't even seem real still. Like I have friends that are traveling the world, you know, Toasted Life. Did y'all see the catalog, where they going this year? It's fucking crazy.
Where are they going?
Toronto, Tanzania. I think he said Kenya. Like, how the fuck you throwing parties in Africa?
You're taking it back
from the Bay.
From the
Bay.
That's so great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's like you don't have to like go to these things and be a part of it. This is like the fact that you know these individuals. Like, I know him. I have his number in my phone. I have both of the numbers in my phone. You know, and I think that's just dope. Or I like have friends that work at Airbnb and, you know, Facebook and Instagram and all that. Like, I'm like living in a freaking bubble of everything that's in my phone.
Literally, it's like to know the people who work for the apps that people all around the world use.
I can't believe I work at the damn place I work.
Yeah.
Still.
Talk about it. How did you get into working where you work? So
I work at Visco, a visual supply company. I'm a community marketer there. And I, in 2013, I left my job at Pepsi to travel on a tour with Stolly and Lube Fiasco. I was a photographer for them. I was on the road for 45 days, traveled to 35 cities. And that was the craziest shit I've done because I just up and quit my job. I knew I wasn't going to come back to a job, but I was ready to make that move. And if I didn't make that move, then I probably wouldn't be here. And I wouldn't be here. You know why? You know why I wouldn't be here? Because fucking Morgan, my wife, told me about Visco. I need this motherfucker. You know?
Morgan is the answer.
That's crazy, right? It's a goddamn puzzle piece to everything. You know what I'm saying?
The backbone.
It's like that heart necklace when you have the connected per year.
Right. You gotta put the pieces together.
Put that motherfucker together. Lock that motherfucker.
Lock that bitch down, goddamn.
You know what I'm saying?
Lock it down.
You know?
It's crazy.
It came on her, lock that motherfucker in.
Bring it in.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
So you were on tour for 45 days.
On tour for 45 days. She was like, during that time, I was editing, like just on regular Lightroom and Photoshop. She said, hey, I just play with this app. I just learned about this app. You can edit photos using presets, camera filters. Mm-hmm. You should check it out. I was like, okay. And I did. And she bought me the actual Lightroom packs to apply on the photos and stuff like that. And I was just like blown away. So when I got back, I was traveling all these different places. I'm hitting up like Unisoft, like these like game companies, like during the tour. It's not just like you are performing every night, but at the same time, rappers get free shit all the time. So we going to Adidas headquarters. We going to different places. So, and I'm at the same time, I'm using it to my leverage. I'm talking to hella people. What's her name? I'm sorry. What's old babe name? She worked for Beats by Dre at one point. Karen Civil.
Okay.
I met her, and to see where she was and to see where she is now, oh my God.
It's crazy.
It's so amazing. It's like I can say I don't really name drop, but like I don't know her. I met her before, right. And to know that I met her, that's amazing. And so once I got back from the tour, I was dead broke. I didn't have a job. Fucking car got repoed. I was about to go. This was before Baddie Time. I was still working out, but I was about to go do Baddie Time. This was way before Baddie Time. And Baddie Time was not made up by me. I'm gonna let y'all know that's my best friend. Because you heard us
in the first episode say it was you.
No, yeah, it's good. My best friend. He's like, we are really tight. We're really close. So basically, what's mine is
you poached it from him. Okay.
I'm trying to say what's mine is yours, his. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
That he coined it. John Nichols LeJethro Jenkins. That's him. He coined it. Anyways, I was about to get up and go do Baddie Time. Okay. I go outside the door. Where the motherfucking car at? That motherfucker gone.
Snatched off the streets of St. Louis.
Listen, that was the first time I had that feeling was like, it ain't about, like my dad always said it's not always about you, but at the same time, it's like, I didn't think that my car would get taken away. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew I was late on that motherfucker.
How late
I
were you?
don't remember how late. I must have been.
They didn't even put the boot on it. They just took the bitch away.
So that motherfucker
go
was
get
out
it.
There.
Go get that.
Go get that
shit back.
I got back in the bed though.
There was you couldn't even do an outdoor exercise at that point.
I thought she was gonna work out. I'm like, I guess not.
I guess.
I mean, that motherfucker sleep. I had to catch up on sleep.
You just had to catch some Z's at that point.
I had to think about some shit.
At this point, you're at the lowest of lows.
Right. I'm like, shit, niggas getting shit, I'm
Cars
like,
getting snatched off the streets. I mean,
shit, what can you do? I couldn't go get that bitch.
And reflect.
What did you do, Adrian? We know you got back in the bed. What was once you got it together?
To get the shit out, but to go get my stuff, but that bitch is still there. Shit, I just whipless,
Whipless.
Morgan
was with you when you had no whip, and she's still with you.
Still with a dry ass nigga.
Still with a nigga. Okay. Whew. And the camera? When did the camera join the journey?
So this thing, I mean, it was on me because I was the camera was on me because I was on a tour. So that's what I did when I first got back. I bought my own camera. I was using my friend's camera.
Didn't pay the car note. But bought a camera.
I had to buy the motherfucking camera.
Okay. Listen, I'm not here to judge. I'm just clarifying for the audience.
I mean, it was a stack. It was $1,000 for 5D Mark II.
Okay.
Y'all probably don't know what the fuck that is, but it's a nice camera. It's like a $3,000 camera at the time, and I bought it for a stack.
Okay.
Why
not?
I mean, I drove to go get that motherfucker. Nissan Go.
God.
But you know, so I was out here. I was hustling.
Yeah.
But that year, I ended up making $27,000 off freelancing.
Photography. That's crazy.
You know, I added up everything and I sold work. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can really do this. And then I was applying for jobs and I was working for places here and there. Visco was one of the places I applied for. The first time I applied for it, I didn't get it. I still have the rejection letter, you know. But then I applied again and I ended up getting it. And then I was already on their radar because, and I can segue into my lens on Ferguson, I was shooting images of the protest in Ferguson, Missouri. And I was uploading those images to Visco, to hashtagging them Ferguson and all that type of stuff. And I got an email from the curation team asking me questions about, you know, what's going on. They want to do a story on this. And so they ended up doing like an interview with me and my boy, Marcus Stabenow. And we talked about our experiences in Ferguson during, you know, taking photos during like the protests and stuff like that. And I guess like people tapped on my experience more. You know, it wasn't like a competition or nothing like that, but I'm from St. Louis. I grew up in this area. I went to school in Ferguson. I knew the ins and outs. Like I was super familiar with what was going on in this area. Ferguson, Missouri is a county. It's like down the street. It's St. Louis. It's kind of like how Oakland is to Berkeley. So a lot of people don't know that. They still like think like Ferguson is like super far. It's not. The shit was 15 minutes away from my house, you know. And they saw that I was taking pictures. We did end up doing an interview and all that type of stuff. And then, like I said, I applied for the job. I ended up getting it. I started December 2014. That's when I moved from St. Louis. And I got the job, and it was a Colorado Springs office. I became a curator for Visco, and just basically looking through imagery for the unified feed and all that type of stuff, and like journal. I did a lot. Closed that office down October 2015. Moved out to Oakland, California, to the headquarters, and that's how I got here. So I've been at Visco for 3 years now, and I've been in Oakland for 2 years. I was in Colorado for a year, and that shit was crazy. In Colorado, the whitest place I've ever been in my life. By far. But it was a good thing that I experienced that, because one thing that my dad like did when I left Dunbar Elementary School, or getting out of it, he said, you need to be around some white folks. That's what my dad said. My dad is old and hood and just...
Our parents used to tell us that, though.
And I understand. I'm so glad, because I was in the Sperring Lindbergh School District, and I was around white people. And I also found out that I was behind in learning shit. You know, the city school systems are fucked up, period, you know, everywhere. But I learned that the hard way when I went to Sperring. I'm like, damn, the shit that they learning, I should have learned. Or the shit, you know, like the shit that they talking about, like, I'm not here yet. I don't even know, you know. So I had to play catch up. And when I went back to city schools, I went to Vashon High School, I was ahead.
Yeah.
And so I was like in advanced classes and stuff like that. And yeah.
My grandma told me hang out with white people because they got the answers, because they made up the tests. I kid you. Seriously.
Old people be saying some shit, man.
I think she was right. Like first time I found out that I could be rich is when I went to an all-girls private middle school, and all of those girls were very wealthy. And I'm thinking, well, we all just having a good time. We all just here to learn. We had a school assignment. We were supposed to be making food for a class. I go to the girl's house. She lives in a mansion. A mansion. I said, well, I go to the same school as you. We're friends. So clearly, if you are a millionaire, so am I. To be determined. To be determined. So, yeah, we do. We need to be around them. Because they know shit that we just don't even know.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy being around them. But the first friend I had met or had at the school. His name was Andrew Kennedy, and he looked like me. Buzz cut, big ass pants on. He's from the South Side. Motherfucker had on fat form. I was like, damn, we homies.
One and the same.
Basically.
We gonna be friends.
Right.
So back to the camera and the book and just growing up in Ferguson.
But I didn't grow up in Ferguson.
You didn't grow up in Ferguson. You grew up in St. Louis.
In St. Louis,
Ferguson was down the street.
Yeah, it was like basically I went to school in the area.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so what was it like to be there in the heat of this protest? And using your camera to document it. You documented a big moment in the United States history.
Right.
Through your perspective.
It's still a dream. The fact that, because I was leaving a wedding, a good friend of mine's wedding, and I turned on the radio, and that's when I learned about what was going on. And the only thing I heard was like, boy dead, street still laying there, you know? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know, I'm coming from a wedding. And, you know, I happened to turn on the news when I get home, and it's just like, this is going on in my city? Like this, police shot a boy, Mike Brown, shot him dead, and he's just laying there for 4 hours. What the fuck? Like this is insane, you know. So that's the first thing, and then like to go out to start documenting it was dangerous, or I didn't think it was dangerous because I felt like I knew what was going on, and I also didn't go out at night because that's when the turn up happens. You know, that's when the police enforced a lot of bullshit and made these things happen. Like, you know, it wasn't the people. We were peaceful protesting. My book shows that shit.
Can I see the copy of your book, please?
It shows that. You know, I was out documenting like stuff that the CNN and everybody else wasn't. And even when they was hitting me up, I was being hit up for my photos by these people. I didn't give them shit.
Really?
What was the choice behind that?
Because I didn't want them to use my imagery and get rich off of it, or use my imagery and they get the, you know, I didn't care about that. It wasn't about.
You were with the people.
Shit,
this is
you
where,
know?
This is where you got shot.
Yeah,
this
it was right there.
I went when I was in St. Louis. I went there, and I just had to. I'm about to cry now. I just had to. Just be present for a moment. I'm just like, somebody died here, yo. Like, somebody's life was taken here
exactly.
on these streets.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's crazy to see this experience through your eyes because you were there. Like, this is proof that you were there. One day, Emery will see this and know that, you know, she may never have grown up in St. Louis or lived there, but, like, she is rooted in that space.
Right.
And so it's incredible that you know, we are here. This is your life.
Yeah.
This is your life full circle. And you've been documenting it.
Right. And even that, you know, experience took me to Paris. You know, I published this book, self-published this book. And then a friend of mine at work told me to apply for the Paris Photo-Book Awards. I did it like really nonchalant. I was like, I'm not going to win this shit. You know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to send them my $35. I'm going to send them the book and not get hit up. Mm-hmm. I started getting these emails. I got an email from somebody from Dropbox, or not Dropbox, PayPal, who purchased my book or had my book. And then somebody from Nike. And then they was like, congratulations on being shortlisted. I didn't know I was shortlisted for one of the biggest photo book awards in the world. Wow. I didn't know. Because I didn't get the official email yet.
Oh, wow.
And then I had got the email. I'm like, holy shit, my book was shortlisted. So that's out of thousands of people all over the world who applied for this. And I was one of like the 20-something that was shortlisted.
Shortlisted, for those of us who don't know, which is
so shortlisted basically means you was like one of the ones that were chosen for this award. And it was amazing. And I went to Paris to represent my book, and some friends from work came too, and it was crazy.
In your city.
And yeah. It was wild. And this is also the same night that the Paris attacks happened. Like, this shit is crazy, right? I'm like just always in the midst of some shit going on, you know what I'm saying? But then to also learn that friends that I have now were there too. I didn't know. Shola that works at Airbnb, she had told a story about her experience. I'm like, damn, you was there? I was there too. Wow. And we're in the same room, you know? And it kind of like goes back to like traveling and being in different places, and then with people that you don't know yet, and then you end up eventually know like meeting them, like how me and you met. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
You know, I brought it because I was like just sitting back and I was like, took a picture of you before.
And I remember taking that image. And we just didn't know each other, but you asked. And so when you sent it to me, like, you know, recently.
It's just a flashback.
Yeah, it was a flashback. It was crazy to recall that moment, to think that our paths crossed because the universe wanted them to before, and that, like, here we are.
Yeah.
That was the seed that was planted to flower in this moment.
Yeah, definitely weird. And I'm blessed and grateful that it happened. But then, like, the same thing with this Ferguson stuff and figuring out that, and, like, now, Paris, you know, that happening, like, being a part of that. It's just, like, all unbelievable. But this book has changed my life, you know. Like, it definitely, like, is, like, it is, like, the prime thing that, like, I guess when it put me on, like, in a different way of, like, being an artist, you know. Big name artists own my book. Martin Parr is one of the biggest, like, photographers out there. He's, like, part of Magnum.
Wow.
Like, that's insane. Then you got my book is at the Stanford Library. Like, that's fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is insane. Book is on Amazon. Somebody put it up on Amazon right now. It's $125.
But they should be buying it off of your website, correct?
Yeah, but when people buy shit and try to flip it all the time,
Sure.
you know. But I felt famous. I'm like, damn.
Like, damn.
I might buy it.
Somebody trying to flip
my work.
My sign it myself. Buy it.
I
Sell
might
it.
buy it. You know what I'm saying? And double that.
Right.
Bought this off Amazon, so I'm gonna flip it.
I wonder. I like what you said, Jena, about things being planted and they flower later, and it made me think about something another guest said about their purpose and what they think their purpose is, or what they think their role would be in a tribe. And so, being that you're here at these monumental occasions, you've been in the midst of two international, right, Mike Brown and then Paris, international pieces of news. What do you think? Why do you think that is? And what do you think your responsibility is when you are in those spaces?
Man, I don't know. I just knew. I still ask that because I didn't go out to go document Paris. I'm not from Paris. Mm-hmm. I don't know it, you know? So I knew that being like I don't even know what to call it, a documentary. I feel like I do document as I go, but I knew that I wasn't going to be out shooting protests. That wasn't my calling. I didn't want that to be my calling. Mm. I did this because that's where I'm from. I know it. You know what I'm saying? I know it. I didn't want to get out and tell somebody else's story. That's why, like, I just read this amazing quote that I don't even want to try to say it, but it's basically talked on how white men take photos and they tell it through their story or whatever, the white gaze. And, like, as much as they take and document our history or whatever, how the hell they can tell our history? You know, they just taking the photos of it, but they don't know our history.
No context.
No. So that's why it's important for us to get out there and tell these stories the right fucking way.
Yes.
And that's why I did that. You know, that's why I shot Ferguson.
Yeah.
To tell your story. To tell
the story the right way.
Yes.
Yeah, the right way. I didn't, you know, and I don't know who's heard it. I don't know. You know, a lot of people have. I get a good amount of people hitting me up. Hell, the same guy, the first guy who bought my book from PayPal years ago in 2015, recently hit me up to ask me for prints. Guess where he fucking live?
Where?
In San Francisco.
That's crazy.
Where was he living before?
He was here in San Francisco.
Got it.
I didn't know.
Full circle.
Oh, got it.
Again.
Full circle.
Motherfucker came to my house and then brought a book. He brought A Fire Next Time by
I don't know.
Yes, you do, cause
I don't know.
We gotta cut this, cause I'm fucking up.
Don't know. It's good.
It's all right. Fuck
It's
it.
fine.
I'm in the moment.
Jenna will
But
lead us somewhere else. It's
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
it's totally fine. Yeah, we are hitting 30.
oh, okay.
So the thing that I want to ask you is about your work and what you're working on right now.
Mm-hmm.
What's, you said that this was the seed that kind of flowered for your photography.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you work at Visco and you shoot regularly. What else do you do? What has you excited in the moment?
So I own Black Women Over Breathing. It's a movement, I can say. So that's something I work on. I like make merch, and I also curate. Me and a friend, Danielle McCoy, another Black woman. Again, can't do it without the Black women. Just can't. We curate shows for Black women artists in like different places and spaces. Our first one I did was in St. Louis, and the second one we did was here in Oakland, California. So I'm working on that, more merch. Still looking to curate more shows. I haven't done it. Like, it goes back to what I said earlier. I feel like I haven't been doing a lot, but I have. I'm fucking raising a baby, It's the first year of it, so it's a lot of stuff that I have to slow down on and try to catch up with later. But still, like, driving in merch, still getting like people hitting me up about these things. I don't even know if like a lot of people, they don't even know probably I am the person, but I'm glad it's that way. It's okay, because it's not about me. You know what I'm saying? It's about y'all, Black women, and whoever else fuck with the movement. That's what it's about. So that's what I just did. And recently I dropped a satin pillowcase, which I thought was really bomb. I think that was pretty tight,
I just enjoyed the model associated with the satin pillowcases.
Black man not for sale.
That Black man is not for sale.
Too bad.
That Black man is not for sale.
Shout out to the fact that you created a product that Black folks need. Like, we need satin pillowcases. And oftentimes the people who are creating them are not us. They're just selling them to us.
They don't know about the Black Heart movement, man.
No.
They don't know. They don't know how important satin
Do you
pillowcase.
have a satin pillowcase on your own? Do you have your own Black Woman Over Breathing pillowcase on your pillows?
Yeah, I don't even have it. I sold it. So
Yeah,
I do have a satin
product.
pillowcase.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will be having more, you know. Yeah, I will be having more. Some more stuff is coming out right now. Some shirts. I've released the OG t-shirts. So that's one thing I'm working on. And I'm just sitting on a lot of work right now.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. I'm taking photos, but I'm sitting on it. And I'm trying to really like place it in the place the work in the spaces or in the publications they need to be in, instead of always just going to Instagram and just posting. I just want to sit on it. I'm going to take photos all the time. Regardless. So now it's just regardless. Like, I'm just going to sit on it, So that's what I'm doing. Sitting on work, creating work. I'm getting a lot of good research in. I'm meeting a lot of people that's helping me with that, giving me reference books and different references to do so. But right now what I'm doing is, like I said, working on being a good dad, being a dad, and helping friends out with their work. A good friend of mine right now, Kiara Johnson, has a dope show at Betty Ono going on here in Oakland, California. And, helping her out with that. That was her first show, and her first time ever showing in a show was in Black Women Over Breathing exhibition. So it was like really dope to be a part of, and to see her shine like that, it's just like amazing. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm shooting. I'm just sitting on work and being a dad.
Being a dad. You're I think what I appreciate about everything you shared today was, you talk about the things that are very taboo for Black men to talk about, their wives, their babies, right? Like being an incredible father, right? We don't hear a lot of Black men having these kind of conversations, candidly crying, right?
I love being out with I love being out. It's crazy when I see like other women, women on the street, they be like, "You out here by yourself with her?" I'm like, yeah, she's mine, baby. What the fuck?
I made this.
It's just crazy, but it's just that's the society we live in. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. It's definitely like that. Like, I wonder if white men get that question though. White men, do y'all get that question about being with your white babies?
with your white baby?
Hit me back.
Drop us in the comments. Let us
Drop us in the
know.
comments.
We need
Do
to
you
know.
get that question?
It's really important, and I said this to another friend who's married. It's I think a lot of us don't want to get married or have children because we don't see it in a way that makes sense for us, right? So a lot of partnerships will be, your husband isn't around, or he's working so much that he can't be with your baby, or you can't still be cute and have your baby. I be seeing Morgan. Morgan is getting finer every day with this baby. Yeah. How you getting fine? She gets finer every time I see her. So it's important to see you guys as well, married, and you're married and you let each other have space. You're together. You clearly love each other very much, and it just, to me, as your friend, it makes me go, maybe not rule this out so much. Maybe you actually haven't really thought about it. Maybe you haven't thought about it in a way that's going to make sense for you, or haven't found the right person. Yeah,
man, it just takes time, man. Everything takes time, to perfect a lot of shit. It's just, like I said, I still can't believe that this is my life. I can't. I wake up and say this shit all the time. Me and Morgan together, we say we got a goddamn baby.
A whole baby,
right?
Not a half.
Whole baby. When you say that around white people, they be like, "What do you mean whole?" I mean, of course, you're not gonna have half. I'm like,
oh, George.
But anyways, it's just like that. But take your time.
Yeah.
With it, people, I don't really get hit up for relationship advice, and I'm really glad I don't. I'm really bad at it, I think. When you're ready for anything, when you'll be ready. Just keep chasing it. It's okay to chase it. It's okay to just keep learning. It's okay to experience. I would just say experience, learn, and chase. Damn, did I just make that up?
I like that.
Experience, learn, and chase. Ooh. You just made that up. That was some fire.
Damn.
Just sit on that. We'll wait for the merch to drop on that one. Experience, learn, chase.
Man, dude,
Adrian
I didn't even
Octavius Walker.
think I was gonna say some dope shit on here, man.
You dropped all the gems.
Yeah.
I don't be knowing.
Tell people one more time, where can they find your work?
Yes.
How can they stay up to date with what you got going
Can I just shout out somebody really fast?
Shout them out.
That really, really is special to me.
Shout them.
There's a lot of special people out there. I promise. But I just got to name drop this for Holly Murchison. Okay. She is bomb. I love that woman. She's super cool. This is somebody who helps me out. I'm glad I met.
Yeah.
And she really we have our conversations. It was weekly, on Sundays, but motherfuckers get busy. But we definitely stay in touch a lot. And that's a person that I'm so glad. I'm glad I met a lot of y'all motherfuckers out here in the Bay. This is crazy. To be out here, and meeting folks like y'all. But yeah.
Shout out to Holly.
Shout out Holly.
I know Holly personally, so I know how you feel.
Yeah, no. But if you want to find me, I'm on my website is adrianowalker.com. Adrian, Adrian Walker. If you don't know how to spell Walker, sorry. Instagram and all that. Twitter, Visco is all the same at A Octavius W.
Okay, A Octavius W.
Yep, that's my middle name.
Anything else that you want to share with the people? You dropped so many gems.
Man. Shit, man. I don't know.
How about a note to Emery?
A note to Emery. Wow.
Yeah, so one day when she listens to this.
Yeah. She's going to know that, I talked about her, talked about her mom. She's going to know her dad is cool. I'm going to be a cool-ass dad for the rest of my life, y'all.
She's listening to this. She's 18 right now. She's listening to this and going, no, you're not, Dad.
She better fucking know. She gonna know.
Ask about me.
I'm telling you, she gonna. I ain't gonna be no lame-ass dad.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch it up. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be that dad.
Okay.
I'm not gonna embarrass her or nothing. I'm gonna make sure that she's taken well care of. I'm gonna give her space. Yeah.
Like a cool dad.
I'm gonna be a cool ass daddy.
So the last thing we have guests do before they exit the show is sign the rhino.
Why is a rhino?
Everybody who's been on the show has signed it. I was the one who did all of the shopping for our space. And so this was one of the things I picked up in
this
my
rhino
pursuits.
is really cute. You know, a rhino will fuck you up and not eat you.
Just mess you up.
God.
Just bump you up real quick.
Nature.
Damn, nature, you scary.
Orange. I want to use orange.
Right, you can sign anywhere.
The
you
booty
want.
already been signed. I'm gonna do it right here. What's this called right here?
The upper back.
The upper back. I'm gonna
That
do that.
side upper back.
Oh wait, orange
Too
don't
light?
work. Orange. I'm gonna use black.
If
Okay,
you
black.
go black.
We could sell this on Amazon now.
Listen.
Oh my gosh. It's kind of ugly.
No, it's fine.
Y'all looking at me
I
struggling.
love it. I know what he's doing. Turn it around.
So the camera can see.
Kind of fucked up. I just did my initials and the name down, you know.
Adrian Octavius Walker.
Yeah, I think that's cute.
It's cute.
Hey, cute rhino.
Adrian, I want to thank you again for being on the show today. Within the past hour, we've experienced a full range of emotions. I think that's what you bring to the table all the time, though, primarily leading with joy. But in any time that I spend with you, I know that, you know, our conversation can go any way.
Definitely.
It's been a pleasure getting to know you. And from this conversation, I know that I will continue to get to know you. The times that I've missed things and you and Morgan have texted me, I remind myself, like, yo, these people are my family, right? Like, these aren't people that I just know. These are people that I hope to grow with forever. And so I look forward to growing with you and growing with your daughter. And just be, you know, supporting each other in these ways.
Support everybody, you know. Motherfuckers are busy. It's okay to be busy and miss shit, you know. Motherfuckers, you got my number. I mean, not saying you. I mean, y'all know it. But just saying, like, people that take stuff to heart, it's hard for me to do that, you know, because I know life is happening.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank y'all for having me here. Thanks to lovely crew. Gold neck daddy.
Gold neck daddy.
You know, chain hanging low. You know, I hold it up
Chain,
low.
chain.
You remember that, boy?
And on that hilarious note, that's another wrap for It's a Look.
Yeah.
Thanks, Abe.